you have to want to do something first. Then you can now say, okay, I want to do this. How do I go about it? So that is also my calculation, that most of the time people say, oh, teach us how to do this. You have to, first of all, want to do something. That is why when you see the prayer of the Lord, in the gospel, the disciples actually asked him, teach us to pray. And Jesus had to, in all his teaching, made them to see the value of prayer and then show them how to pray. You may know how to pray. If you don't want to pray, you will still not pray. And I think that the reason why believers, why the Church of Christ have relegated soul winning to the background is because many of us do not believe that is something we should do. For example, so many believers believe that soul winning is the work of the pastor. But like I said last Sunday, the pastor is the shepherd. Pastor is synonymous with shepherd. And the shepherd's work is to take care of the sheep. But if that group will have to multiply, it is the sheep that will produce sheep. Shepherds don't produce sheep. That is why the primary reason or the primary desire in the heart of the shepherd is to lead the sheep, to green pastures, restore their souls, protect them, not just for protection's sake, but so that they will be good enough to produce more sheep. Because whether you like it or not, a sheep is going to get old and die. And the whole colony, the whole flock, the whole system could just perish if there is no multiplication. Do you understand? That was why when God created Adam and Eve, the first thing he told them is, he said, be fruitful. Be fruitful. Be fruitful. I've made you, but if you are going to get extinct or continue, you have to reproduce. Because many of us are really not disobedient. We just want to know what God expects from us. And I'm here this morning to tell you that God expects that you be a soul winner. In fact, you were saved to save. Should I say that again? I said you were saved to save. God saved you so that you can help save other people. That is the primary reason. You can do anything and everything for God. If you fail in that area, then God considers that you have not pleased him. Because among everything else we do in Christendom, we do everything for ourselves. But bringing somebody into the kingdom is the only thing we do for God. Every other thing is for us. We clean the church, is for us. God doesn't sit on a chair in the church. God doesn't need a conditioning system. God doesn't need LED walls. God doesn't need microphones. Everything we do, you see, God doesn't need a building. Oh, come and see, we are building a house for God, a magnificent house for God. God does not dwell in buildings made by the hands of men. No matter how big and beautiful your church is, God doesn't dwell in houses made by men. He said, heaven is my throne. The only thing a believer does for God is that a soul who was going to hell is turned around and that soul is saved. That is the one thing we do. Every prayer you pray naturally is for yourself. That is why you don't see many gatherings where people are gathering and saying, we want to pray for the salvation of souls. Because that doesn't have to do with you. Give me a wife, give me a husband, give me this, give me that. That's our prayer. Protect me, take sickness away. That is for us. Everything is selfish. And yet God desires that we help to bring people into the kingdom. That is why God's friends are those who help him to build the kingdom.